When the promise of jobs report and the prospect of interest rates going up, there are lots of things that could affect your money just coming up in this week.
Absolutely. And we're getting some insight now from financial and business analyst Eric Schiffer, who joins us live by Skype today. Good to see you, Eric.
Good to see you.
So yeah, there are a lot of positives going on in the economy. I mean, that jobs report that came out last Friday, the stock markets have been booming really since President Trump was elected. But along with that, you know, there's the thought that the economy may overheat and the Federal Reserve could possibly raise interest rates maybe as soon as this week. What do you think is going to happen, and is this necessarily a bad thing?
Well, look, it's interesting. The Trump effect has been big, as we know, and I think that the probabilities of the Fed raising are pretty high. In fact, and I think they've done it masterfully. I think they've prepared the market. So I don't think you're going to see a big hit in terms of the market. But I do think the Fed will likely raise over the next, at least 2 times over the year. I don't think, though, that the market is going to slow down overall. I think the economy is strong, and it's going to likely get stronger. I mean, we have a good economy. It could be a great economy. And I think what's happening right now is people want to see what's really going to happen with the Trump administration. Will they institute the policy changes that he ran on that's boosted this market to date, which has been phenomenal?
All of that is very promising news for investors. But if you're a little concerned, you know, the market, the Dow, for example, has tacked on 15% just since the November election. There are a lot of people out there who think a correction, you know, even if it's a 10% drop in the price of the Dow Jones Industrial Average, or the number there, would still be a very powerful market, but it would also probably send a shiver through the economy. If you're an investor, what are you doing right now to just maybe to make your portfolio a little safer?
Well, look, it's interesting. It really depends. So, for instance, if you have a 401k, figure out what's your endpoint. I mean, if your endpoint is 5-10 years down the road, then these adjustments that may happen in the market, and look, there will likely be volatility, there could be a short-term correction, but long-term, it shouldn't significantly affect if you're diversified. And I'm big on diversification, making sure that you're spreading it across a range of stocks and industries. Warren Buffett, in his most recent announcement to shareholders for the last year, talked about a bet that he made where he bet people that could invest with these really successful hedge funds that only high net worth people could get into versus what the average guy could actually get into, which is an index fund. And what he found was that over the last 10 years, when he did this computation, the index funds were far more successful than these guys that manage money professionally for very wealthy people. So index funds, diversification, way to go.
And those index funds charge many smaller numbers to administer those funds. So that's another benefit right there.
You bring up a good point, which is, you know, pick a fund that doesn't have big fees, because fees, they add up over time. And so you want to keep your fees low. That's what's great about many of these index funds, because you can get in, not pay much, and really diversify, keep yourself safe if you're a long-term investor. If you're a short-term investor, that's a different matter altogether, and that's where you kind of want to take some and put some on the sidelines, perhaps go to cash to a certain extent.
Good advice from Eric Schiffer, financial and business analyst, joining us by Skype today. And you heard him. Diversify, right? We got the message. Thank you, Eric.
Diversify. No, that's a very good message, in fact.